Hi, my name is Joel Greenbaum, president of Match Point Tennis. I'm here today with Ivan Rojas from Prince Racket Sports. He's here to introduce you to the new line of rackets from Prince for 2011.
Hello everyone, my name is Ivan Rojas with Prince Sports. I'm here to talk about the new rackets we are coming out with for 2011. The EXO3 technology, it's the third generation of the O3 technology that we have been working for the last 8 to 9 years. This EXO3 technology stands for Extreme O3, which basically what it does, it enhances the sweet spot on the racket and also enhances the feel to make the rackets feel more comfortable to take you to play your game to the next level. On the tour category, on the EXO3 rackets, we have a different variation of the EXO3. It is still works to enhance the sweet spot on the racket and to make the racket feel more comfortable. But more than anything, they're players' rackets, so therefore have a little bit more flexibility. They're a little bit heavier, and therefore people that have a little bit more of a faster swing speed. One of the rackets that I have here, which is the EXO3 Tour 100, the technology that comes along with this racket, basically, it's a very simple technology, which is the ports technology we've been using for the last couple of years. The sport technology now has a big enhancement right there on that piece, which is a thermocarbon piece that actually gives the racket more feel coming out of the strings. As you can see, that piece not only is at 3 and 9, but it's also at 12 o'clock, and it's also at 6 o'clock. This gives the racket a lot of feel, but at the same time keeps the racket in a very comfortable level for players. Here's the EXO3 Tour featuring the thermocarbon piece that enhances the sweet spot and feel on the racket, at the same time featuring a thinner beam to add more control to the frame. One of the great things that you can do with the EXO3 Tour rackets, not just on the new ones but also on the rackets that are carryovers, it's the fact that you can take these ports and change these inserts into holes, which means just a regular grommets. For whatever reason you feel that the sweet spot on this racket is too big, you can always change the inserts and make the sweet spot smaller. Very important. This is the one and only racket in the world or in the tennis industry that you can actually customize this feel on the frame. So for example, let's just say that you're kind of a player that actually hits the ball on the top of the racket. So what you want to do is you want to bring the sweet spot from the middle of the racket to the top of the frame. How do you do that with this racket? Well, basically what you do is you take the insert, the holes insert, and put it here, and put it here, and don't put it up on top. So when you do that, you actually bring the sweet spot a little bit up to the top of the racket, because that's the way you hit the ball. That's where most of the time you hit the ball. So let's talk about this racket in particular. This racket is, as I said before, the EXO3 Tour. This is a 100 square inches head size, which has become in the United States the most popular head size in the country. This racket right here basically is the third generation of a very popular racket from back about 6 years ago, which was the O3 Tour. Right after that, we have the Ozone Tour, and now we have the third generation on the EXO3 category, on the EXO3 technology, which is the EXO3 Tour. This is a racket that 60% of our touring players and the tour are playing with right now. So it's one of the most popular rackets on the tour for Prince, for the sponsored players by Prince. As I said before, it's 100 square inches head size. It's a 27 millimeter racket, which is the standard length for the frame. It's got a very thin body, as you can see, so therefore it's a very flexible racket. It's got a lot of control to it, even though it's 100 square inches head size. But because it has that enhancement on the sweet spot, it's got this little bigger of a head size compared to a 95. It also has some very good pop. One of the things that I personally have experienced on this racket, since I play with the EXO3 Tour, is the fact that because the ball stays longer on the string bed due to the ports that we have on the racket generates more spin. This one right here, in particular, the EXO3 Tour 100, comes in two different string patterns, the 1618 and also in the 1820. Now the 1820, what it does basically is that it makes the switch bar just a tad smaller because obviously it's got a little bit more strings to it, but it gives you a little bit more control. Head size on both rackets are the same, which is 100 square inches head size. Weight is the same, 10.9 ounces unstrung. Balance is 10 points head light on both rackets. As a complement to this racket, we have a racket that is a brand new frame for us. It's called the EXO3 Tour Lite. This basically what it is, it's a tour category racket that has very good control, a very good amount of power. It kind of fits in the category of the tuners, which means that has power and control at the same time. The only difference here is that you're going to have a very lightweight racket, very easy to maneuver, very easy to move around, very easy to play tennis with. It's only 9 ounces unstrung on the weight, which means that you can just move this racket as fast as you can. The racket is going to feel fantastic. So as you can see right here, the racket also has the EXO3 technology at 3 and 9. It doesn't have it up on top, and it doesn't have it up on the, down in the bottom, which makes the racket a hybrid category. What does that mean? A hybrid category, a hybrid racket. What it means is that the racket is going to have a very nice enhanced sweet spot, but at the same time you're going to get a lot of feel coming out of the frame. So as you can see, the racket is a little bit thicker compared to the other two. This is more of a 22 millimeter beam. The other ones were more of an 18 millimeter beam, and that actually gives you a little bit more pop. And because the racket it's got a very really nice sweet spot, it also gives you very nice control to it. So this racket will come together with the other two, and these are the rackets that we're going to have for 2011 on the tour category.